Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kaylee of Kaylee Plans, and today I am going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I am going to be talking about task cards, and you probably know that because of the title of this video, and you probably clicked on it for that reason. So without further delay, let's go ahead and start talking about some task cards. Okay guys, so the task card system was started by an amazing woman in the planner community named Maddie Lopez, and she started the traditional task card system, which contained different reoccurring tasks that she wanted to save time basically by not having to rewrite. So the idea was that you would have these different cards for different things, right? So this is her skincare task card where she talks about wearing a face mask, exfoliating, steaming her face, blah blah blah. This one here is a cleaning task card. So essentially, like, again, things that would be annoying to rewrite, like your skincare routine, cleaning routines, your method for planning, you know, different financial things to remember. So that was the general idea. And how it would work is that you'd have your task card. This is an early one that I used to use by Poi and Hun, where I would talk about the different tasks that I do all the time. So essentially how it would work is that you would find a new weekly here. So like on Monday, I would put that that's the day that I'm gonna check my inbox. On Tuesday, I know that's when I would you know what? Actually, both of these would be on Monday. If I could get them to cooperate with me. On Tuesday, and actually that would kind of go on Monday as well. And then on Friday I'd put complete task, right? So that's kind of how it would work. So on Monday, after I did all of these things, I would, instead of like checking them off or crossing them off, I would put them back on the task card. And that way I still had room to write, you know, my other plans. So that was kind of the idea behind them. Now, let me talk about the things that didn't really work for me when it came to this system. The first thing being that after a while, the page flag would kind of lose its stick. Sometimes it was annoying to like have to re-stick it back on here and like get it straight again and everything like that. And like I said, they would lose their stick. So after using them a couple of times, it was possible that you could actually lose the tab. So I didn't like that fact. Another thing about it is that I'm kind of forgetful, so I would end up kind of having to write it in anyway because I would forget to go to the back of my planner to pull this out to then start planning. For me, it was easier to just write these things in, kind of again as either a to-do or assign the actual day for the task, and that just kept me more on track. Another thing is that I felt like I had to have a ton of task cards. As you can see, you can't fit too many items on these task cards, so I found myself having to have like 6 or 7 of them for the different things that I had to do. So the system wasn't perfect for me. the way that it was intended to be used. But I did like the idea of it, I like the aesthetics of it, and I decided to tweak the formula a little bit to make it work better for me. So before I get into how I use task cards, I kind of wanted to talk about how people have started to use them. Again, they're not really being used the same way as they were once used. Even Maddie Plans uses her task cards a little bit differently now. So some of the ways that people use them now are like more printed tasks, and that way you can kind of jot them into your daily agenda without having to rewrite them. So I really like these options a lot. And they've kind of transitioned into like these AM, PM kind of situations. I don't have any examples of those per se, but when you go check out like Maddie Plans' Instagram, that is kind of more how she is using them, I guess you could say. Kind of now in this like AM, PM kind of vibe. So again, that's kind of how she uses them now. And the ways that I have used them have kind of changed depending on, you know, what I need each card for. So I don't use the traditional method anymore, but this is kind of more of my bread and butter, so I'll get into that. But as far as like the traditional method, I like to use this Gracieedits reference card. I like it a lot because these dots are already on there, so it helps make it really easy when you want to put your task back. And I like to put temporary long-term tasks on here, if that makes any sense. So for instance, the tasks that are on this card currently are tasks that we have to do before we move. So again, our closing date is May 21st, so it's a little bit of a longer task, and these like tasks are like more spread out as far as when they need to get done. But I want to keep track of all of the things that I have to do. So obviously the first thing is pack. We need to be doing that now. So weekly, what I'll do is just add pack on my to-do list instead of assigning it to a specific date. Another item we have to do is donate. So as we pack, this is kind of happening simultaneously, like donate stuff that we plan on donating so that we're not packing it and then donating it. We're just getting rid of it so it's something we don't have to move. And then obviously we have our tentative close date, hoping that our close date moves up a little bit. But yeah, so right now that's just on there so I remember the actual date. So that's kind of one way that I use them currently. Another way that I was using them, I don't use them like this anymore because I'm no longer using this system, but this was how I used to keep track of my mood. So this was like a key that I made. These are not page flags, these are stickers. And what I did was how I used to track my mood was in my monthly planner. I don't have an example right now with me, but I would put a little transparent dot over the date on my monthly. Let's see so right, like if I was happy today, I would put this color dot over the number 1, and for number 2, if I was angry, I would put that color. And so basically what this did was I had the shop name and then the color of the actual dot itself, because some of the colors were kind of similar, so I wanted to make sure I was tracking my mood properly, obviously. So I just wrote again the different shop and then the color, so you know, cloth and paper mink. yeah, and all that stuff. So this is how, one way I used to use it. I actually used to use this task card all the time, but I actually started to use a tracker system for my moods instead. So I track my mood this way instead of using a colored dot. So that is why I no longer use this task card anymore, because I obviously changed my system. Another way that I do still currently use my task cards is with these, like, again, I don't take these off. This is a permanent task card on a piece of cardstock in the color Blush by the shop Paper Roses Designs. And if you message her, she could put these stickers on a backing for you, so that way you can opt for them to be like stickers, or you can put them on the cardstock directly so you can't peel them off, so they stay straight. And then what I did was I added icons and then jotted in my different cleaning tasks that I have to do every week. So instead of writing and cleaning tasks, because these are like less fun plans, these are like the only tasks that I hardly ever write in my agenda. But I do keep kind of a little task card for the different things that I want to make sure I get cleaned. So that is another way that I do still use my task cards. This one actually just lives right up here, and I just kind of like to layer it like that. So it tucks right in there, and when it's time for me to go through all of my cleaning lists, I pull that out. So this one here is my kind of like everyday use for task cards, I guess you could say. So this task card lives in my everyday carry as a little tabby guy, and it is, again, a long-term task card. So what I have here are all of the things that I need to do every single week. So that includes checking my inbox, scheduling any appointments that I need to schedule, going over our finances, the cleaning tasks that I just talked about on this task card. So instead of having like a million items on this task card, I just, when it's time to do cleaning stuff, I will then pull out this task card. Photograph, so I want to make sure I always take pictures either for my story or for my feed for Instagram, as well as, you know, reels and everything like that. I want to make sure I film my YouTube videos, obviously, every week. I also want to make sure that I am active on Instagram every week. I want to make sure that I water my plants, because even though they're like all over the house, I'm constantly forgetting to water them for some reason. So I have to actually usually write that into my agenda to make sure that I don't forget it. And then the last thing that I like to try to do weekly is work out. I say try to do it because I usually don't, and that's why it is the last item on my list, because if I'm gonna make myself feel less guilty about not doing any of these items, it's gonna be the working out part of it. I do have like a physical labor job, so sometimes it's hard for me to work out after literally working out all day for my job. So that's why it's on there. I should be doing it more, but again, I do kind of get a workout in every day, so I'm not too worried about working out separately. So that is kind of everything that I have for this video. I hope that this video gave you some insights and different ideas of different ways of using task cards, because the really cool thing about them is that you can really just make them your own and do what you want with them. So give this video a like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and if you like these type of planner videos, I try to do a different planner related video every week, and hope to see you over on Instagram, and you know, hope to see you join the family. And stay safe out there, you guys. See you next time. Bye.